Alright y'all, so I've been seeing this video floating around on my YouTube feed for the past few days now called I Would Rather Play COD XDefiant Overview. Now apparently this video has been causing a lot of controversy in the XDefiant community and even the COD community a little bit, so I wanted to check some of it out and, just see what's going on, see if she really has some, the hot takes that people think she has, see how bad it is really. Now I haven't actually watched the video yet because I wanted to see for myself, because I do want to give the benefit of the doubt and go in with an open mind before I start throwing my judgment around like a full auto Merv from Fallout. Right now, I don't really see how controversial this could possibly be, but I guess we'll find out in a moment here first. But first I want to say y'all, if you like this type of content from me, be sure to backhand those like and subscribe buttons with your middle finger and headbutt the bell icon to make sure you never miss an upload. Real quick before we get into this, please do not go harassing or attacking this person. It's a really bad look on not only my community, but also me, and it's just shamefully immature. And before you say, like, oh, but you're attacking this person too. No, I'm not attacking them. I'm just going to attack the things they say. Attack the things people say, not the people themselves. That's exactly what I'm going to do. There's a difference. Get that through your thick heads. And if you're going to be out here doing that sort of thing, then, suck my left one from the back on an escalator, you fucking weirdo. Without further ado though, let's see what this girl has to say, I guess, and just roll from there.
YouTube has been absolutely gaslighting me about XDefiant. All I've seen on my feed for weeks now has been COD killer, best FPS, this kills COD.
Alright, so I will say right from the jump, the editing is pretty damn good. I will give her that.
I was thinking I could boot this game up and it would transport me back to 2011. Getting home from school on a Friday night, booting up Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, no responsibilities, all the snacks I could want, and all my friends online. Meanwhile, my parents were arguing downstairs about our horrific financial situation. I'm just kidding. I didn't have any friends.
Well, that took a turn. I mean, okay, you know what? That's fair. Everyone who's ever played an FPS game from that era, the mid to late 2000s and the early 2010s, we all want to go back to those days where we couldn't care less about life, whether it be school or work or chores or what have you. But let me hit you with the harsh, cold, blunt, and straightforward truth for a second. Let me learn you something, and I want you to listen very closely. That will never happen. And I think it's rather unrealistic to expect that from the next big thing like XDefiant here. Sure, XDefiant is reminiscent of a lot of things from earlier COD titles. Good gunplay, fun weapons, well-designed maps, matchmaking isn't horrid and that milks you for all your money and time. And look man, I'm not here to shit on you or anyone else for playing COD. You want to do that? That's cool. I can't stop you. I mean, I still play a good amount of it myself every now and again. I just got back into Cold War and I've been having a grand old time.
But anyway, this game is so underwhelming, it's crazy. Here's what I'm going to be talking about throughout the video. Use the timestamps below if you want to skip through specific parts. I want to start with the fact that this only affects PC players, but this game is not on Steam. You have to download the Ubisoft launcher in order to play this game. Stop that.
I will agree with her there. I think she's 100% right. It is kind of ridiculous that you have to create an account on a completely different launcher for this game. And yeah, it sucks, but you also have to consider that this is a Ubisoft game. Every game Ubisoft makes is going to be on Ubisoft Connect, whether we like it or not. But I definitely get it because it is annoying to have to make accounts for games these days. But at the end of the day, man, it's really not that hard to do. Just go and make the account, install the game, and boom, you're good. You're golden. No problem.
The gameplay is solid, credit given where credit is due. The biggest complaint I had though was either the tick rate or the netcode is absolute dog shit. They say the tick rate is 60, which is comparable to games like Overwatch, but I don't believe them because I've died from being clearly behind cover or behind the enemy more often than not. And hit registration, while most of the time did feel fine, had some noticeable moments and drop-offs, which is just unacceptable for a full release.
Okay, this is where I'm gonna get a bit critical. Yes, we all know the hit registration and the netcode are realistically not that great. Let's be fucking real for a second. The devs know this. They know. I mean, for fuck's sake, how long have we been playtesting this game? 1, 2, 3 years now? There have been several different playtests, many stress tests, and various forms and amounts of feedback. And the reason that netcode is a little wonky right now is the fact that they just simply had to redesign the game from the ground up. I get that's frustrating, dying from round corners almost inexplicably, but trust me, the devs are working on this, so please just stop bringing it up. They've already said they are testing the patches and waiting to release them as soon as possible. These things take time. Settle down. Second of all, you say this like Call of Duty hasn't had this exact problem. I've found myself getting clapped through the smallest pixels, and I've seen delays in gameplay many times, and it doesn't help that the packet burst issues and the connectivity issues with the SBMM, the EOMM, whatever, is causing things to lag and have high latency on top of that. I have had what the community refers to as ghost bullets, where I can dump an entire mag into someone and like half of those bullets won't even register. And then, the guy pops me in the head like I'm some sort of fucking loot pinata. If anything, the netcode and hit registration, when compared to Call of Duty, is the only real issue XDefiant has. Let's not get it twisted here.
The movement is decent. Running, jumping, vaulting, sliding, you got the usuals. It's a fast-paced game with fast-paced movement. Overall, the guns do feel good with some exceptions. They have recoil patterns that make sense, the effects and sounds when you hit someone are satisfying, and the animations all look pretty good. The gun variety, though, is boring.
Yeah, that's because with gun variety, you don't need to have 40 or so guns for the game to be fun. You don't need 500 of the same types of attachments for each gun, like in COD. In fact, I would argue that every single Call of Duty game in the past 5 years or so, maybe even longer, I want to say since World War II at the very least, has launched with a very minimal amount of guns. This is nothing new. The main difference here, though, is that it's going for a less is more type of sandbox. Every weapon is viable in some way. Every weapon handles differently, and most importantly, they don't have 100 different variations of sights, or muzzles, or mags, or anything else. Really, all you need is maybe a reflex sight or an ACOG scope, throw an extended mag or a rapid fire barrel, maybe a grip tape, maybe just switch out your stock, replace one of those things with a muzzle or like a suppressor or something, and you're golden. I mean, what would you rather have? 20 to 30 guns that all not only play different, but are inherently unique as well? Or 70 guns that, for the most part, all feel the same, and have more attachments and perks than you really need. Another thing I'd argue is that it's probably easier to balance the game as well when you're starting out small. And then whenever you're adding more stuff down the line, then it's easier to balance that way. Rather than having, a whole host of guns and then, just struggling to keep the game balanced because there's so much variety. And there's so many different shifting metas, it's just not good.
I'm disappointed by this because they could have done so much being Ubisoft. You can put in guns from Splinter Cell, or maybe any of the makeshift guns from any of the Far Cries. Anything to give the guns some sort of personality, but instead they went with the standard 24 guns that we've all seen done before.
That's actually really funny coming from you, considering for the last couple of decades, all COD has been is just a majority of its weapons being recycled year after year. Every COD, you're going to see the same things. You're going to see the M4, you're going to see the MP5, you're going to see the Spaz or the Benelli shotgun. You're going to see the same snipers, the same pistols, like the 1911, the M9, the Glock. Everything is more or less the same every year, so what are you even talking about? Not to mention, most if not all of the perks are all the exact same as the previous few games as well.
Where Ubisoft does actually take advantage of being Ubisoft is their factions and maps. Each faction, essentially your playable characters, has passive, active, and ultra abilities, either on cooldown or it builds up throughout the game. The ultras, which are the big bad wolves of the abilities, do seem more gimmicky than your average kill streak.
They're not kill streaks, and nor are they supposed to be. And unlike kill streaks or score streaks or whatever, chances are you're only ever going to use this once per game. Maybe two if you're good enough. But I've only ever gotten one ultimate per match my entire time playing.
And to be fair, they can turn the tide in small battles, but they often are mostly eh. It leaves you wanting more if you've played games like Overwatch, and as an addition to a COD-style shooter, it does feel a little bit out of place.
Here's the thing though, the game itself is centered around the gunplay first and foremost, so if you're really looking for a hero shooter in this game, then I don't know what to tell you, Chief. There's far better games out there to suit your needs.
Maps, on the other hand, are actually beautiful. They have a lot of character and the aesthetics were nailed. They work well for the game modes, providing decent cover and rotation, and the spawn points incentivize movements, so no major complaints there for me. So far, I've described a decent game, and for it being free, you're probably wondering why I'm so disappointed by it.
Yeah, we kind of all are.
It's a heaping pile of garbage, smudged over with some nice graphics and mid-gameplay.
Okay, you just kind of invalidated your whole video by saying this, and I will explain exactly why in one sentence. Call of Duty has been the exact same fucking description for over 5 years now, ever since Modern Warfare 19. Motherfuckers really out here saying this bullshit like it doesn't apply to their franchise. Every single year, they get a new Call of Duty that's priced at $70 and has nothing good about it except the graphics and the dopamine rush you get whenever you pop someone's head the hell open. That is it. You want to talk about mid-gameplay? Look at MW19, look at Cold War, look at MW2, Vanguard, and Modern Warfare 3 suck on this D. The gameplay is fucking shit, where XDefiant is the God-sent gift that I have been injecting into my bloodstream to replace the piss and the shit Activision has been feeding me for years. $70 every year, and yet each subsequent game is worse than the last, and anyone with any semblance of a working frontal lobe and an IQ higher than room temperature knows that Black Ops 6 isn't going to resolve that issue.
I'm being really harsh, but here's why. Ubisoft has the money, resources, and experienced teams to be able to actually put out the COD killer, but instead they chose to release this. A game that simply doesn't have enough in it to play for a long time, getting really old really fast.
That's your problem, not the game's problem. And let me ask you something really quick. Why the fuck are we talking about XDefiant apparently not being a good live service when just 6 days ago we got a trailer for Season 1 that brings a good amount of content? 3 new maps, 3 new guns, capture the flag, a new faction and equipment? Not only that, but they have all of Year 1 already done and releasing over time, and they're working on Year 2? You go ahead and tell me this is a bad live service. You go ahead and tell me that COD hasn't been eating dog shit and kangaroo ass when it comes to seasonal content.
What would you spend money on? I'm glad you asked. They made weapon leveling grindy as hell, so they added weapon boosters you can buy for your convenience, because it's so much better paying for a boost in the game than just having balanced gameplay to begin with.
This is total bullshit and just a brain dead take. First of all, you can't buy these individually. The bulk of the weapon XP boosters have been granted either by the devs for free or through the battle pass. And before you guys say, but Blade, there are weapon boosters in the shop, you can find them through bundles. I want you to shut the fuck up, because that is not what this girl is talking about at all. What she is doing is spinning the argument to make it seem like you can purchase these boosters individually for real money, even though that is objectively not the case. Might I add that if you're going to complain about weapon XP boosters and shit like that, then this logic had better be applied to the rank XP and the battle pass XP boosts as well.
You can buy different skins, like this low profile skin that makes you harder to see and essentially a harder target to kill in dark areas of the map.
Rose in Modern Warfare was so much worse than this. And the thing with Echelon is they are a stealth faction from the Splinter Cell games. They're meant to be stealthy and harder to see. They have suits that turn them invisible, for fuck's sake. I mean, this is just such a redacted argument, guys. I feel like I'm losing my mind.
The perfect skin for rats with extra cash to spare. A battle pass booster to give you a leg up on your rewards, which are only your rewards if you pay for the battle pass, which periodically gives you calling cards, skins, UB coins, and guess what? More weapon boosters, because this game is grindy as fuck.
I'd like to just comment on the fact that every single bit of criticism so far that has come out of this girl's mouth is an exact one-to-one description of what Call of Duty does. Let's just consider the COD battle passes really quick, shall we? You have 100 tiers in a single battle pass, separated into sectors of 5, which I think is dumb as fuck. It's far too fucking confusing for my own good. I feel like I have to, have a fucking math major and just, use 100% power of my brain. And these tiers contain what, you might ask? Guess what? Weapon skins, calling cards, emblems, character skins, Oh, and guess what? XP boosts and premium currency in the form of COD points. I shouldn't even have to explain why this is disingenuous and downright pseudo-intellectual levels of fuckery.
One of the things to unlock a gun is to get hip fire kills, but it is legitimately impossible to fucking do so because the accuracy for the hip fire is like non-existent.
The hip fire accuracy isn't non-existent. You're just dog shit at the game.
You can even unlock the last faction of playable characters with 700,000 XP.
700,000 XP doesn't take you that long to get. I played around 5 to 6 hours across a couple sessions and I got dead sick in no time.
Or skip the inconvenience and hassle of the grind. Enjoy the full experience of the game by purchasing the DeadSec faction for 7 small payments of fuck you 99. It's a bunch of pay to win bullshit, essentially.
The reason this isn't a problem is because yes, while it may seem pay to win, at least if you're a paint huffing weasel canister, you can earn the faction just by playing the game the same exact way you do with the battle pass, and it takes no special challenges to do whatsoever. If that is too much of a grind for you, why are you even playing?
Oh, Gookie, it's not pay to win since you can unlock everything by playing the game. Pay for convenience is pay to win. If you can pay money to get an advantage, in this case to get a character that is not available to everybody immediately as soon as you boot into the game, it's pay to win. I will die on that hill.
Well, I hope you were prepared for the controversy you sprung up then, because I have a counter argument to make. At the risk of repeating myself, it's not pay to win if you can earn it through normal means. Simply put. And if that's not something you agree with, well guess what? You're just fucking stupid.
All of this comes together to feel more like a money grab than a project made for the love of the genre. It isn't an attempt to bring back the golden ages of FPSs. It's an attempt to capitalize on people that are craving that, sucking up as much money as they can out of it and doing the absolute minimum to make it that game.
Am I a joke to you? What? I just want to know, is that all I am? A big joke? No.
Oh my god. This was a doozy. Listen guys, I understand if XDefiant is not your thing, but if you're gonna criticize it or any other game, then at least it makes sense, and don't make yourself sound like a bumbling, acne-covered moron. Anyways y'all, that is it for me today. What did you think of the video? Do you think she's right? Do you think she's wrong? Leave a comment down below, and I will see y'all next time. Peace be.